Hey guys, Ralph here. True Power Trumpet Fitness. And you know what? Let's get right to it. Got a lot to talk about today, and these videos only go about 12 minutes or so, and then you can't post them anymore. So enough talk. Guess what I'm gonna play? A little ditty out of Orban. Here we go. The first notes of the day. Taking things up an octave. A little redness on the lips. That's just blood, guys. That's not marks. There's no marks on my lip. If you ever see me in person, there's not a mark there. Anyway, I'm getting a lot of emails, guys. Questions about the tongue. Now, questions about everything. The tongue. Many of them, I can't begin to tell you how many guys are saying, look, I'm using Claude Gordon. Or I'm studying with a guy that teaches Claude Gordon. Or, we can go on and on with the Ta-E-E. And just about everybody I know is using that Claude Gordon stuff. Okay? Now, nothing against Claude Gordon. I already did a thing about him, and I'm not going to do another thing. The man couldn't have been nicer to me. Couldn't have been nicer to me. And I think he was on to some really cool things using the tongue. Okay? And I guarantee you, the little bit I knew of him, I told you, I had dinner with him once years ago, and I guarantee you, if I knew what I knew now about the tongue, I know he would be receptive to it. At least listen to it, and I know we'd go back to his hotel room or whatever, and he would give it a try. I know he would. And I guarantee you, it would improve his playing. Now, here's the thing, guys. You need 3 things. Okay? Number 1, you need relaxed corners. They must be relaxed. You can't, like I did, go in different registers up to double B flats and down. You can't do that if the lips are tight. With any sort of flexibility, with any sort of tonal power, with ever. You have to have relaxed corners. Number 2, and maybe not in order of importance, the tongue must be through the teeth on every note you play. Has to be. Has to be. That's the one spot where Claude Gordon was wrong. Third, you must use as little air as possible to get proper results. Now, if we are going order of importance, if somebody put a gun to my head and I had to tell you if there was one that was more important than the other, it differs from everybody to person to person, okay? But if one was more important, I would have to go with the teeth. The tongue. The teeth. The tongue. Okay. The reason for that is the tongue is, for our sake of argument, the strongest muscle in the body. If not the strongest muscle in the body, it is certainly infinitely stronger than any other muscle that could possibly come into play in our embouchure. Infinitely stronger. Okay? And here's the deal. Whatever the tongue does, the rest of the embouchure must follow suit. Okay? Now, this is what I want you to do. And if you have to listen to if you have to turn off the video and listen, you may do that. And try it by yourself, you may do this. It's very simple. Claude Gordon, Ta-E-E. E is the syllable of death for any singer because it constricts the throat. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is say an E syllable, E, and look exactly what happens to your lips. E. It's almost impossible keeping that E syllable, E, to get the lips thick. The minute they go to E, everything stretches. And that is the worst thing you want. That's tension. That is a thin, brittle tone. That's tension, that shaking that comes into your lyrical playing. E. Now, I want you to do something else. I don't even want you to spit buzz. I want you to take the tongue, put it through the teeth, make it thick along every single part of the bottom lip, and press hard against it. Okay? Then, try to pull the chops back. It's almost impossible to do it. The tongue is stronger than all those. If you keep the tongue forward, the tongue is going to stay forward and give you that fat, fleshy look that I talked about with Maurice Andre and Harry James. Some of the best chops ever. Relax, gives new meaning to the word relaxed, okay? The tongue, okay? Now, here's the deal. If you concentrate on the tongue, stay in there, your corners are going to take care of themselves, okay? Your corners are going to take care of themselves, so you don't even have to think about the corners. Just concentrate on keeping that grip. The tongue. The tongue and the bottom lip. Create compression. Now, corners, tongue, little air. If you are a blaster, you can get away blowing huge amounts of air and keeping that tongue forward. You can do that. But it is much harder to keep the control. You're using much more pressure, and it's why? Why work extra hard? You're going to get a bigger, more tone that's going to project, more projection if you keep it centered. I can make a huge tone just on my hand. Okay? Now, here's the thing about the tongue. Maurice Andre and Harry James both tongue through the teeth. I asked Maurice myself. A good friend of mine asked Harry himself. They both tongue through the teeth. I don't care what anybody else says. Until you can sound like that, until you can sound like Maurice and Harry James, I'm tonguing through the teeth. And somebody wants to come here and give me with a better tone, more power, more range, more endurance, with less work, with the tongue going in the E, then I will sit down and listen to you. I don't think it can be done. I don't think there's one guy out there that can match what Maurice and Harry did for tone, power, range, and endurance with the tongue in a different position. I don't think it can be done. Now, guys, as I told you before, comments and criticisms, if you want to tell me I'm full of crap, go ahead. Comments and questions, you got to go with my email. And guys, I am getting extraordinary results with Skype. Listen, Skype's not perfect. I prefer having you right in here. We can sit down with the Arbin book, we can relax. I'll make you some fruit juice. Really, I would prefer it if you're sitting down here. I mean, obviously it's better. There's no question it's better. But Skype is terrific. Now, I find that an hour's worth of Skype, even with the most ardent student, gets a little tedious. If I'm not sitting there with the same book you're using and all that sort of stuff. Okay? So I go for half an hour. And it seems to be very, very powerful. We just concentrate on chops. I don't go through music. I don't go through music with most of my... Look, if you want to play Arbin, play Arbin. If you want to play Jerry Coker, Patterns for Jazz, go ahead and do it. If you want to use the Claude Gordon book and do those routines, fine. Just get the compression. You want to do Dizzy Gillespie solos? Memorize them. And you can be John Faddis. That's how Faddis did. He memorized Dizzy Gillespie solos and been playing them for 40 years. Now you need chops to do it. If you want, I don't care what you want to play. I've said this before. Just make sure that you are doing those things. Whatever music you are using, go very, very slow. Think about what I said. Tongue through the teeth. Compress. You cannot compress too much. You can't. Okay? The more you compress, it is going to help you relax the corners. The more you relax the corners, it's going to help you compress. What came first, the chicken or the egg? And the less air you use is going to help you do those two things. Okay? So guys, I hope this clears up a lot of the questions. I really do. If it doesn't, get back in touch with me. Set up a Skype lesson. Guys, $25. Are you kidding me? Guys, I'm telling you, I'm not trying to get rich here. I'll get rich if you want to give it to me. You want to give me $250 like Vince Penzarella in New York and not learn a damn thing? Go ahead. He can't teach you about chops. He can't play high C with a gun to his head. Okay? $25 for half an hour. You can have all the double C's you want, and the world is yours. Okay, eat your fruits and vegetables. Okay? You notice I'm not even saying kettlebell anymore. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Drink a lot of water. Sleep. And compress. Love you all. Get in touch with me if you have any questions.